Hello everyone, this is Professor David L. Strickland Jr., and I'd like to welcome you to the sociology class. So what you're seeing on the screen here is the home page for our course, and I want to walk you through that briefly just to get you acquainted with how the course works and how to find everything that you need. So when you first log on to Canvas, you should see this page, and this is technically called the syllabus page. So I've set it up so that it would start at that page. And if there are announcements, you'll see that new announcements at the top that you can click on and read those announcements. So whenever you log on, always check and see if there's any announcements, because it may be that something had to be changed, a date had to be changed, or there's some other new information in the course and you want to know about that. And that's one way that I can make sure that everybody knows, is to put it in an announcement, and then you can look at it right away when you see the course. On the home page of the course, you can see some basic contact information from me. My email for the university is there, but also within the syllabus you can find out how you can use my personal email if you have trouble getting in touch with me, or even call me if necessary. I am here for you. I want to help you. We're going to have a great course and learn a lot of sociology. Now, the textbook is that we're using, the official textbook of record for the course is this free online textbook produced by OpenStack. So that's an organization where different professors have written books for free so that students can access them for free. Now you can buy from them a paper copy, and basically they charge you, I think, about $20, and that's the cost of printing it up on the paper. But the people who created it did it because they wanted students to have access to books without breaking the bank. And I've participated in those type projects before myself. So sometimes I will link to or refer to pages or sections of that book as the required reading for a particular lesson. At other times, and I will put my own notes in as the required reading for the lesson. And I'm going to rely more on my own notes because, and it's redundant. Some of it is redundant to what would be in the book for that section. But I went to a lot of trouble to make the notes to try to make the concepts easier for you to understand and remember, get a hold of, and more interesting. So I'll be relying on my notes, and they're also free for you, just provided for you in Canvas, so you don't have to go anywhere to get it. There it is. Every time you start the lesson, every time you log on to the course, you really want to work through the lesson modules. So the first lesson module is going to be kind of the orientation to the course, and then after that, lesson 1 module, lesson 2 module, lesson 3 module, and so on. And you should work in the modules in the order that they're presented. And the course schedule, which is also part of the syllabus, will show you the dates that we're covering each particular lesson and what the topics are for that lesson. So you can actually click here on this button or this line to go to the modules. Here's what happens when we do that. So the modules are kind of lined up in boxes on the screen. The first one is getting started, and it's got a welcome information. Then it's got the required reading, which is actually the syllabus. And I've put the whole syllabus in there as one document that you can download, but also I've put in the different parts of it, the schedule and the appendix parts as separate ones in case you want to just have them separately. The schedule is 2 pages, and so I like to print that out myself, and I have done that for myself. I've printed out those 2 pages so that I can have that out next to my calendar and follow along as we go through the semester. Then there's a discussion for that this one first introduction lesson, this getting started lesson, there's a discussion. So most lessons will have a required reading or viewing. There might be some videos to view and reading selections. And they'll have a required discussion. And they'll have a quiz for that particular lesson. So here we have that. So then the next lesson one is about what is sociology. And here again, see, it's got an introduction, a little one-page introducing you to that lesson, and that introduction will usually say, here are the goals of this lesson. In other words, what are you supposed to learn in this lesson? And guess what? Here's the way that I teach. It's called, in the field of pedagogy or andragogy, which is the scientific study of teaching, it's called constructive alignment. And what that means is I identify the goals, what it is I want you to learn, right? And then I have content in the course, whether it's lecture or videos or assignments, whatever it might be, that point you to those same goals, learning goals. And then when there's an assessment like a quiz or an exam or a paper, that's going to be about those same goals. Okay? So there's an introduction, there's reading and viewing that's required, there's a required discussion, and there's a quiz. And that's something you'll find as the components of each lesson as you go through the course. You'll see that same kind of lineup over and over again. The last module in our course will be the one for the final exam. And the discussion for that will be just an open discussion where you can discuss anything about the course with other students that you like. And the way we're going to do the final exam in our course online is I'm going to make it available for you for about one week. Because all of you have different schedules, so you may have different work schedules and other courses and other classes that you attend face-to-face. And so rather than trying to have us all do an exam at the same time or narrow down that time to one particular hour of a day, I'm going to just open it a week before the last day you can do it and leave it open for a week. And at any point you can go in and take the final exam during that week. The final exam will be different from the quizzes. It will be similar to the quizzes. It might be in that it might have similar types of questions on it, but you'll only have 1 or 2 attempts at the final exam. Whereas with the quizzes, you had unlimited attempts before the deadline. With the final exam, I'll give you 2 attempts, and I will take the highest grade of your 2 attempts. With the quizzes, you have unlimited attempts until the deadline for that particular quiz, and you get the average grade, right, of all of your attempts. So that's how the final is different from quizzes. Okay, and you can see on the course schedule the dates, the deadlines for the final, the deadlines for each quiz and each individual lesson.